All right, we live? We are alive. Welcome back, you inglorious bastards and magnificent bitches. It is I, Doc Camo, and we're back for another episode of my thought of the day. And today we're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about the fact that YouTube is trying to remove the dislike buttons to protect people like Joe Biden and stuff, because and all this wokeness, because it's getting ratioed. It's getting roasted by people because most of us don't like that shit, and they're just too afraid to tell you that to your face. I'm not afraid to tell you that to the face. The only intolerant, hateful bigot here is you. You need to take a good look in the mirror if you want to get rid of hate and bigotry. Just saying. Because somehow, black people beating up Asians is whiteness. But I digress. We're not here to talk about that. We're going to talk about French leading the way. We'll get more into that later. I don't want to spoil it because that's the news topic of the day. We're going to talk about a Facebook group of teachers being investigated for suggesting doxing, trying to organize the doxing of conservative parents. And we're going to talk about Major Biden's dog bites another person. We're going to talk about that and what I think about the fact that whoever gave him that dog should probably be beaten. I'm being facetious. I don't really mean go beat somebody. They probably shouldn't be fostering dogs out. But anyway, while we're doing that, crowd is getting hit. Everybody's getting hit. So please like, share, subscribe, share this out on all those platforms that we're banned on, and join us on our website, www.thatsonpoint.squarespace.com. Join the email list, become a member. $5 a month, you get mugs and access to other things. And I think we're going to put in a $10 a month membership where you get to suggest that topics that I would cover in the podcast, this podcast, and That's on Point, to help keep the circle going, because we have to make it more engaging and more, more for the meal ticket. But that's really the best way you can help in these times of censorship and stuff. It's the only way we can filter this program. It's the only way we can cushing it, shelter it, protect it from this. There are other options for the Fediverse and stuff for certain social media posts and shit, but it doesn't really do video. And I mean, there are tools out there that people are making, but for now, it is what it is. But anyways, let's get into this YouTube removing the dislike button, and we're probably going to have to reset this like we always do. There we go. And we're going to read this. YouTube tests removal of the dislike counter on videos by Hannah Sparks. This was yesterday. YouTube is training a new feature. I mean, the French thing, if it wasn't a few days ago, I'd probably say it was April Fool's, but we'll get into that. YouTube is trialing a new feature, Positivity. The video sharing platform said Wednesday that some users may find the number of dislikes associated with their content now hidden. The move comes in response to creative feedback around well-being and targeted dislike campaigns, YouTube said. There's no targeted dislike campaign against fucking these people. These people are generally disliked. Only you do targeted dislike campaigns. That's your shit. Videos will continue to that's leftist crap. Videos will continue to provide a dislike button for viewers, and the number of clicks is still being tailed on the back end. The company clarified, but the counter will not be displayed to the public. YouTube hopes that the change will engender more goodwill, as cyberbullies will no longer be emboldened by amassing dislikes on their target's content. In response to the creative feedback, there's no mass disliking of people's target's contact. People don't like Joe Biden. People don't like wokeness. It's just people, those are legitimate dislikes. Just enjoy the ratio. In response to creative feedback around well-being and targeted dislike campaigns, we're testing a few new designs that don't show the public dislike count, YouTube said via Twitter. Twitter, adding that those included in the small experiment might notice that the number that usually appears below the thumbs down icon is missing. Creators, you still will be able to see the exact number of likes and dislikes in YouTube Studio. They continue for views. If you're in the experiment, you can still like or dislike a video to share feedback with creators and help tune the recommendations you see on YouTube. YouTube's garner support from some 27,000 who liked the tweet. Still, many criticized the move as a disservice to viewers in an substantial effort to improve the battered psyche of bullied creators. The way the New York Post is framing this is ridiculous. Nobody's targeting these people just because they're targeting these people. This is like a legitimate dislike. People don't like these people. Stop promoting them. Guys, we're not going to solve bullying by making it so only that the victim can tell that they're being bullied. It's genius. We're going to solve what? Oh, that's a twist. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, people have gotten soft, way too fucking soft. This is helpful. You're not fixing creative feedback. You're limiting user judgment, said one critic, whose response was liked by 12,000 on Twitter. As a user, I need to be able to see what the ratio of a video is so I can see if it's worth the time to watch or if I should move on to another video. You got ratioed and people use the ratio and you know people use the ratio, so you're trying to fucking fuck that. Trying to help Joe Biden. What did you do? Did you just jump on me? Okay, it did. Here we go. Creators, you still be able to see the exact number. This is why they want to take the dislikes away. It's so fucking true. They want to take the dislikes away because Joe Biden's getting ratioed and people are still liking Trump's and Trump stuff. I think we could do better than both of them, but I digress. Some in the thread have speculated that a number of videos uploaded by the White House during President Joe Biden's administration were, in fact, the subject of targeted dislikes. Bullshit. They just don't like you. Stop your propaganda bullshit. In contrast, footage shared by Donald Trump's White House has received a substantially inflated ratio of likes to dislikes. Oh, they're saying so. Joe Biden's videos are being targeted by a dislike campaign, and Donald Trump's are suspiciously inflated. Oh, you can't make this shit up. This, according to one follower, may inspire YouTube to attempt to restore balance. Earlier this month, another social video platform, TikTok, rolled out a number of new features to foster kindness and community. They claimed the changes include options for users to filter their comments, allowing more control of which comments appear beneath their clip. I mean, if you're going to be a publisher, that's not that bad. But these companies are not publishers. They're fucking platforms. And they need to start operating as such, and we need to start holding them to such accountability, or this fuckery is just going to continue. I'm just saying. All right. Moving right along here, we're going to talk about, we were just talking about how YouTube is helping him because he's being ratioed to death. We're going to move on to our illustrious President Joe Biden. The most loved president in human history. American history, at least. Got more votes than any president ever in the history of America without leaving his basement. So, if you haven't been following along, when Biden got in the White House, they made a fuss about Trump didn't have a dog in the White House. What kind of president doesn't have a dog in the White House? So they went and got Biden some dogs. And they didn't just get Biden any dogs. They got him German Shepherds. But one of them's bit somebody, and apparently it's happening again. And I mean, I blame Biden, but we'll get into that. Let's get into this story because it's always the owner. It's never the dog. So Major One of Biden's German Shepherds bites another person, White House said. Major, one of President's 2 German Shepherds, was involved in another biting incident at the White House this week, his second in less than a month, the White House said Tuesday. The incident involved a National Park Service employee on the South Lawn on Monday afternoon, which is first put in story. Major is still adjusting to his new surroundings, and he nipped someone while on a walk, Michael LaRosa, press secretary, First Lady Joe Biden, said in a statement. Out of an abundance of caution, the individual was seen by the White House's medical unit and then returned to work without injury. But they said like there was hostile. Yeah, no, I don't buy that. I don't buy it was just nipped. Biden's being senile. He's falling upstairs. He's like anyway. German Shepherds are beautiful, but they're difficult dogs, especially alpha dogs, a male alpha dog. Like that's why we use them for police, and we use them. It takes a strong hand, and it has to be the same hand. You brought him in, and you're trying to like change the way his procedure was working, even if he had a routine, and now you put him in a new routine. And you're telling new people to walk him, and they're not going to respect you at all because the person that's probably doing that job is probably beta as fuck. Just saying. It's the first time Major got negative press since Biden's election, despite the much heralded return of dogs to the White House after a drought of presidential campaigning. Despite that, no, he's bitten twice. In November, Biden slipped while playing with Major and injured his foot. Has this slipped temporary? Yeah, I want to know why, because this happened when he was taking a shower and he turned around and he said he pulled the dog. Like, why is the dog in the shower with you? I'm just saying. Earlier this month, Major, who was about 3 years old, reportedly nipped at the Secret Service agent's hand at the White House. The bite didn't break the agent's skin, and there was no bleeding, according to the White House official who spoke on the condition of anonymity, described as sensitive subject. Attacking. Like, oh my God. Major returned to Biden's home in Delaware for a brief time after the first biting incident, and as his absence was noticed, questions arose about what would become of the German Shepherd. Yeah, I hope he gets a better home and you don't just euthanize him because he's already bitten twice, and in some states you have to euthanize him, but it's not the fucking dog's fault, it's the owner. If you fucking gave that dude, that dog, a solid fucking home, a solid alpha, and a solid routine, it would not be doing that garbage. Biden was unfit, and the person who gave him that dog should have their license to handle animals revoked. I'm just saying. The White House was initially silent on the biting incident, but later offered a partial explanation, the equivalent of saying Major was taking the time away from his official duties to spend time with the family. With the First Lady traveling for 3 days, Champ and Major went to Delaware to stay with family friends, LaRosa said then. A full explanation came a short time later when White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked about it on the news briefing and responded with what appeared to be a prepared statement diffusing the darkest theories about the pet's fate. Champ and Major, the President and the First Lady's dogs, are members of the family and still getting acclimated and accustomed to their new surroundings, the new people, and then reading from their note. Yeah, okay, I don't get it. You bought it as a publicity stunt. And you should not have helped him with that, whoever gave him that dog. You should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Major, she added, has been surprised by an unfamiliar person and reacted in a way that resulted in a minor injury to that individual. Yeah, okay. Biden's, adopted in 2018 from the Delaware Humane Society. A photo from the society showed the man who would become 46th president holding a leash puppy in his hand beneath the humane symbol, a human hand reaching out to the animal's paw. Yeah, it was a fucking publicity stunt, and you allowed it to happen. If that dog gets euthanized, that's your fucking fault. Major was one of the half a dozen puppies brought to the rescue agents after they came in contact with something toxic in their home, according to the study. Couldn't afford veterinary care and surrendered the animals, which posted about, Biden, this is ridiculous. Biden said in an interview with ABC News earlier this month, Major was receiving more training after his, training. You're giving them to a trainer. But you, when you get him back, you still have to enforce that routine. You are too much. You are not capable of doing that. You should not have a dog of that caliber. I feel bad for this dog. You turn a corner and there's 2 people you don't know about and Major moves to protect, said Biden. But he's a sweet dog. 85% of the people there love him. He's just, all he does is lick them and wag his tail. But I realize some people understandably are afraid of dogs to begin with. President, the dog is only doing that because you can't control it. And it's sad because now the dog's probably going to get euthanized. And it's just sad. I don't know if you've ever fostered an animal or not, but you're supposed to go through rigorous testing and background before you're even allowed to take the animal. because you're taking the animal from a bad situation and putting them in a better situation. You took an animal from a bad situation where it happens. Every pet owner will tell you your dogs get into toxic things. They eat chocolate. If you smoke weed, they eat weed. They eat all kinds of things that they're not supposed to eat, and they will get exposed. Now, that family